कर माया को अहंकार, मत कर काया को अभिमान, काया कार से काची। मत कर माया को अहंकार, मत कर काया को अभिमान, काया कार से काची। वो कायागार से काची रे जैसे ओसरा मोती, झोंका पवन आए झपका पवन का लग जाए, काया धूल हो जासी, काया तेरी धूल हो जासी। ऐसा सख्त था महाराज जिनका मुल्कों में राज, जिन घर झूलता हाथी, वो जिन घर झूलता हाथी रे उन घर दिया ना बाती। झोंका पवन का लग जाए झपका पवन का लग जाए, काया धूल हो जासी, काया तेरी धूल हो जासी। उठ गया सिंदड़ा दो तेल बिखर गया सब निज खेल, बुझ गई दिया की बातें, वो बुझ गई दिया की बाती रे जैसे ओसरा मोती। झोंका पवन का लग जाए झपका पवन का लग जाए, काया धूल हो जासी, काया तेरी धूल हो जासी। सकल परिवार झूठी फूटता छाती, वो झूठी फूटता छाती रे जैसे ओसरा मोती। सिर पे धरे हाथ जिनसे मुक्ति मिल जासी, बोले आ भवानी हो नाथ गुरु जी ने सिर पे धरे हाथ जिनसे मुक्ति हो जासी, वो जिनसे मुक्ति मिल जासी रे जैसे ओसरा मोती। झोंका झोंका मत कर माया को अहंकार, मत कर काया को अभिमान, काया कार पवन का लग जाए झपका, पवन का लग जाए काया, धूल हो जासी, काया तेरी धूल हो जासी, काया तेरी धूल हो जासी, काया तेरी धूल हो जासी.
Om Shanti. Let's meditate for 3 minutes, like we did yesterday. Completely in the present. No past, no future, no judgments. No complaints, no what if. ये हो जाता, I wish this had happened. Let go of all that and try to enjoy the present. Yes, I have to make my future better, life better. I have to work on so many things, but let me enjoy this moment. Let me be in the present. Let me learn to be in the present. Because this only will give me the solution. I will be able to think clearly and rationally. So I am in the present and try to open the portal to the inner self. Soul consciousness. I am a joyful being. I am a conscious being. Feel your light. Experience your inner light, inner body, light body, your aura. And I am so much connected to God, Supreme Soul, the ocean of joy, ocean of purity, and all the darkness in me which are there, all the blockages fading away. I am becoming a conscious light being. All the darkness from me, from this whole world is going away. all the deep parts of my mind, unconscious mind, are healing. Negativity going away. Om Shanti. It's such a wonderful journey we have started, and I hope my voice is clear. I'm talking little slowly, but are you able to listen? Because of the meditation, it will take time to speak loudly. It's such a beautiful journey we have started, and even for me, reading this book again and this talking about, like the author talked about things yesterday, this is such an important thing to talk about and such an important thing to discuss, that we do not really listen. We do the selective listening, and that's why here also we practice. There is a program, facilitation program here. It is Vihasa program, and we try to do the listening part, because that is also being in the present, also being soul conscious, and it's a forgotten art. And author talked about portals. Portals means that portals are like, if you have watched some science fiction or multiverse videos or movies, so you must know what are portals. Portals are like experience, the way to experience your inner being, that is the real being beyond forms. So, um, and it was so wonderful that author said that love is not a portal. Love is what you experience when you are going in that portal. That is so true, that when we start experiencing it, like author talked about God's essence, which means we start being mindful, we start being uh, conscious about other beings, and we start treating them well, with compassion, with love, with understanding that it's okay. I mean, even if somebody is rude to me, even if they don't want to understand, it's okay. It's such a wonderful life, and I don't want to get sad, feel bad, get angry on these petty issues, because I have, gotten so many important things. I have started understanding my real self. I have got God with me. Life is a blessing, even if there are situations, but life is a beautiful gift. So these things makes us that, God's, everyone is God's child. Everyone is trying their best. And what I have to do, I have to preserve myself and preserve my peace. And even I was thinking about it, when I was sleeping, and you know, in in sleeps, maybe there is a time when you just wake up uh, out of out of your sleep, and it happened. And you know what my mind was thinking? It was thinking that how exactly these vibration, like purity, like consciousness, how important it is and how it is going to change the world, how it is going to uh, improve my overall, surroundings, relationships, other people. So we have to understand the power of consciousness. Consciousness means power of my light, power of my awakening. This is a hidden thing, but it has, many powerful impact. It has a powerful impact on the surroundings, to this whole world actually. So we have to understand it deeply. And today also author has talked in detail, in depth about few things. So we need to be open-minded. We need to have that thinking mind. Thinking mind again, according to author, thinking mind we should not have. What I'm saying is we should try to absorb, be 100% focused. Otherwise, we will miss few things. And if we miss few things, we will not be able to get the essence of it, right? So let's start with where we left yesterday. So author talked about silence, right? And the other portal is space. So just as no sound exists without silence, nothing can exist without nothing, without the empty space that enables it to be. Every physical object or body has come out of nothing, is surrounded by nothing, and will eventually return to nothing. Not only that, but even inside every physical body, there is far more nothing than something, right? The fifth element, space. Physicists tell us that the solidity of the matter is an illusion. Every seemingly solid matter, including your physical body, is nearly 100% empty space. So vast are the distances between the atoms compared to their size. What is more, even inside every atom, there is more empty space. And what is left is more like a vibrational frequency than particles of solid matter, more like a musical notes. Buddhists have known that for over 2,500 years ago, because that's when the Buddha came. Form is emptiness, emptiness is form, states the Heart Sutra, one of the best known ancient Buddhist texts. The essence of all things is emptiness. The unmanifested, you understand? Unmanifested means which is not physical, right? The unmanifested is not only present in this word as silence, it also pervades the entire physical universe as space, from within and without. This is just as easy to miss as silence. Everybody pays attention to the things in space, but who pays attention to space itself? You understand what the author is trying to explain? Is that actually, the last line, that everybody pays attention to the things in space, but who pays attention to the space itself? The name is space, then the scientists say we found this on space, but most of the space is empty, right? And like the counter question is, you seem to be implying that emptiness or nothing is just nothing, that there is some mysterious quality to it. What is this nothing? You cannot ask such a question. Your mind is trying to make nothing into something. The moment you make it into something, you have missed it. And nothing, space is the appearance of the unmanifested as an externalized phenomena in a sense perceived world. It is the appearance of unmanifested in a sense perceived word. Simple, right? That's about as much as one can say about it. And even that is a kind of paradox. It cannot become an object of knowledge. You can't do a PhD or nothing. When scientists study space, they usually make it into something and thereby miss its essence entirely. Not surprisingly, the latest theory is that space isn't empty at all, that it is filled with some substance. Once you have a theory, it's not too hard to find evidence to substantiate it, at least until some other theory comes along. Paradox means the completely opposite um, sentence. Like, if I give you an example, it can be like author has talked about it, is that we are talking about nothing here, right? But author is saying we can't really talk about nothing. And if we are talking about nothing, we have objectified it. This is a kind of paradox. We can't really understand nothing, but still we are talking about nothing just to understand it, right? And this is very important to understand that scientists can only talk about things in the space. And once you have a theory, let's say you want to, you know that there are people in this world who actually believe that the earth is flat. You know that? They say earth is not round. Earth is not like a, it's not round, it's flat. And once you have a theory, and once you have, a theory, it's not too hard to find evidence. This is something which, scientists have done in the space. Nothing can only become a portal into the unmanifested for you if you don't try to grasp or understand it. Don't try to understand it. We'll find what author is talking about. So again, the seeker says, isn't that what we are doing here? Trying to understand the nothing? Not at all. I'm giving you pointers to show you how you can bring the dimension of the unmanifested into your life. Unmanifested, you understand? Manifested here, author means which means it has become physical, right? Unmanifested means which we can't really see, we can't really touch, the five elements. So, what we are trying to do, trying to understand the dimension of the unmanifested. That's how we can experience soul, experience God, experience vibrations, love, etc. We are not trying to understand is it, there is nothing to understand. Space has no existence. To exist literally means to stand out. You cannot understand space because it does not stand out. Although in itself it has no existence, it enables everything else to exist. Silence has no existence either, nor does the many unmanifested. So we will understand in the next page. So, so what if you withdraw attention from the object in space and become aware of space itself? If you withdraw attention from the objects in the space and become aware of the space itself, what is the essence of this room? What is the essence of the room where you're sitting? The furniture, pictures, and so on are in your room, but they are not the room. The floor, walls, and ceiling define the boundary of the room, but they are also not the room. So, what is the essence of the room? Space. Of course, empty space. There would be no room without it. Since space is nothing, we can say that what is not there is more important than what is there. So become aware of the space that is all around you. Don't think about it, feel it as it were, pay attention to nothing. So it's about changing your thought process. Have we ever thought about the spaces in between the room, space of the room? Actually, that is the most important thing, right? If there would be no space, what would happen? So as you do that, a shift in consciousness takes place inside you. It's very powerful. That's why it is a portal. Here is why. The inner equivalents to object in space in your room, such as furniture, walls, and so on, are your mind objects, thoughts, emotions, and the objects of the senses. And the inner equivalent of space is the consciousness that enables your mind object to be, just as space allows all the things to be. So, inner equivalent of space is the consciousness. That is what soul is. That is what awareness is. That is what light is. That enables your mind object to be just there, just as space allows all things to be. So if you withdraw attention from things like object in space, you automatically withdraw attention from your mind object as well. In other words, you cannot think and be aware of space or of silence for that matter. I hope you're understanding it. If you withdraw attention from things, so which means, let's say if I'm meeting somebody, I'm seeing somebody, and I am not paying attention to the object, which means I'm not seeing their physical forms. What I'm seeing, the unmanifested, the nothing, that I'm seeing their consciousness, the soul. So, what is it doing? It is helping me to be soul conscious, which means consciousness, right? So, you automatically withdraw attention from your mind object as well. I'm becoming soul conscious. In other words, you cannot think and be aware of space. When I'm thinking about the space around me, think about it. I'm not thinking now. I'm just being. I'm just feeling joy, feeling peaceful, right? I hope you are understanding this. By becoming aware of the empty space around you, you simultaneously become aware of the space of no mind, of pure consciousness, the unmanifested. This is how the contemplation of space can become a portal for you. Different ways of being in the present, soul conscious. It's simple practice. Start observing the space around you when you're having a walk, sitting in your room. Just withdraw your attention from the physical object and try to experience the space. Don't think, just experience the space. You'll start going inside. How profound and how powerful this is, right? Yes, you're right. It is soul consciousness. Space and silence are two aspects of the same thing, the same nothing. They are an externalization of inner space and inner silence, which is stillness, the infinitely creative womb of all existence. Wow. They are an externalization of inner space and inner silence, the space and silence, which is stillness, the infinitely creative womb of all existence, right? Yes, space in the room. Most humans are completely unconscious of this dimension. There is no inner space, no stillness. They are out of balance. In other words, they know the world or think they do, but they don't know God. They identify exclusively with their own physical and psychological form, unconscious of essence. And because every form is highly unstable, they live in fear. This fear causes a deep misperception of themselves and of other humans, a distortion in their vision of the world. So most of them, they relate it to the physical. How am I looking? Psychological. Whatever they think they don't know about the God. Essence का पता ही नहीं है. And every form is highly unstable. Every form, human form, even job, relationships, house, life in itself. So they live in fear. And this causes a distorted vision of the world that everyone is bad, everyone is sad, everyone is playing games. Uh, I just have to take care of my four people, whatever is happening in the other world, in my neighbor. I don't really care. I want my kids to be safe. And the same people um, are, so let's say somebody's saying, somebody's father or somebody's brother is saying that I want my daughter, I want my sister to be safe. And same people are creating fear in the neighbor's daughters or sister, right? So that's how it becomes a distorted version of the world. If some cosmic convulsion brought about the end of the world, the unmanifested would remain totally unaffected by this. A Course in Miracles expresses this truth poignantly. Nothing real can be threatened, nothing unreal exists. Herein lies the peace of God. I don't know, I think this is the book, but again, the nothing real can be threatened, unmanifested would remain unaffected, nothing unreal exists, and herein lies the peace of God. So I am a soul. I can't, nothing can happen to me. I am unaffected. I can't be threatened. That's how I have to live. That's how I can become very confident. That's how I can become fearless. That I am that unmanifested, that awareness, and I have no fear. Simple. If somebody is talking ill, creating rumors about me, uh, even if I'm not, even if I've not done anything bad to them, but still they are talking ill about me, it's okay. I can't be threatened. So I am fearless, I'm peaceful. If you remain in conscious connection with the unmanifested, your value, love, and deeply respect the manifested and every life form in it as an expression of the one life beyond form. You also know that every form is destined to dissolve again, and that ultimately nothing out here matters all that much. You have overcome the world in the word of Jesus, or as the Buddha put it, you have crossed over to the other shore. You have truly started understanding the world, right? The true nature of space and time. Now consider this, if there were nothing but silence, it would not exist for you. You would not know what it is. Only when sound appears does silence come into being, right? Similarly, if there were only space without any objects in space, it would not exist for you. Imagine yourself as a point of consciousness floating in the vastness of space. No stars, no galaxies, just emptiness. Suddenly, space would not be vast anymore. It would not be there at all. There would be no speed, We are visualizing as we are speaking, as we are reading. There would be no speed, no movement from here to there. At least 2 points of reference are needed for distance and space to come into being. Space comes into being the moment the one becomes two, and as two become the 10,000 things, as Lao Tse. Lao Tse was a very famous philosopher called the manifested word. Space becomes more and more vast. The word and space arise simultaneously. Nothing could be without space, yet space is nothing. Before the universe came into being, before the Big Bang, if you like, there wasn't a vast empty space waiting to be filled. There was no space as there was nothing. There was only the unmanifested, the one, God. When the one became the 10,000 thing, suddenly space seemed to be there and enabled the many to be. Where did it come from? Was it created by God to accommodate the universe? Of course not. Space is nothing, so it was never created. It was always there. The universe is not created by God. Here also we understand, in brahmakumaris also we practice this, that God did not create the universe. It was just there, right? Go out on a clear night and look up the sky, look up at the sky, and this thing happens right now only when we go to some hill stations or some space, some places which are clear, right? The thousand of stars you can see with the naked eye are no more than an infinitesimal fraction of what is there. 1,000 million galaxies can already be detected with the most powerful telescopes, each galaxy an island universe containing thousands of millions of stars. Yet, what is even more awe-inspiring is the infinity of space itself, the depth and stillness that allows all of that magnificent to be. Nothing could be more awe-inspiring and majestic than the inconceivable vastness and stillness of space. Yet, what it is? Emptiness, vast emptiness. What appears to us as space in our universe perceived through the mind and the sense is the unmanifested itself, externalized. It is the body of the God. And the greatest miracle is this, that stillness and vastness that enables the universe to be is not just out there in space, it is also within you. When you are utterly and totally present, you encounter it as the still inner space of no mind, right? Within you, it is vast in depth, not in extension. Special extension is ultimately a misperception of infinite depth, an attribute of the one transcendental reality. Everything is within us. According to Einstein, space and time are not separate. But I don't really understand it. But I think he's saying that time is the fourth dimension of space. He calls it the space-time continuum. Now we are trying to understand it. I is equal to mc square was something different than the physical applied physics, right? According to Einstein, he said that space and time are not separate because he was saying that time is the fourth dimension of space. He calls it the space-time continuum. Yes, what you perceive externally as space and time are ultimately illusionary. but they contain a core of truth. They are the two essential attributes of God: infinitely, infinity and eternity, perceived as if they had an external existence outside you. Within you, both space and time have an inner equivalent that reveals their true nature as well as your own. Whereas space is the still, infinitely deep realm of no mind, the inner equivalent of time is presence, awareness of the eternal now. Um, I know it is getting little difficult, but yeah, let's read it again and try to understand because I am also understanding it. But okay, let's do it again. What you perceive externally as space and time are ultimately illusionary, but they contain a core of truth. That is, they are the two essential attributes of God, which is infinity and eternity, right? So, externally, everything is infinite and eternal. They were always there. They will not go anywhere. So, these are the attributes of God, right? You understand? Attributes, भगवान के गुण आप कह सकते हैं. And that is infinity, his powers, his presence was always infinite and eternal. Now, within you, both space and time have an inner equivalent that reveals their true nature as well as your own. How? Within us, both space and time have an inner equivalent. As the external, so is the internal. So space is the still, infinitely deep realm of no mind, that soul. What is soul, right? The inner equivalent of time is presence, awareness of the eternal now. Eternal now means being present. So again, eternal and infinite. Remember that there is no distinction between them. When space and time are realized within us as the unmanifested, no mind and presence. Soul conscious means being present. Being present means space and time have become one. There is no difference, right? External space and time continue to exist for you, but they become much less important. The word too continues to exist for you, but it will not bind you anymore. Wow. Did you understand this paragraph? And did you understand the importance of understanding it? That soul and God is infinite and eternal. So I am infinite and eternal, which means there is no distinction between them internally. The core of space and time is same. So what is going to happen now when we start practicing it? Again, as I said, we will let go of the wrong illusion and we will start becoming peaceful and we will start becoming fearless and aware that external world is becoming less important, but it is not binding me. I don't have to reach anywhere. I just have to be there. And the ultimate aim is to experience my real self, right? Okay. Hence, the ultimate purpose of the word lies not within the word, not within the word, but in transcendence of the word. Just as you would not be conscious of space if there were no objects in the space, the word is needed for the unmanifested to be realized. Otherwise, we would not realize it. You may have heard the Buddhist saying, if there were no illusion, there would be no enlightenment. That's so true. It is through the word and ultimately through you that the unmanifested knows itself. You are here to enable the divine purpose of the universe to unfold. This is how important you are. Just mark it. You are here to enable the divine purpose of the universe to unfold. This is how important you are. So this is what this line means. The ultimate purpose of the word lies not within the word, but in the transcendence of the word, which means what is happening in the world, what I have to do. So it has many meaning, but if we try to understand the essence of it, it means that the changing of the world, elevating the world, understanding the world, making the world a conscious place, understanding that there are illusions in the world, the objects in the world, but I have to understand that that is not more important. The more important thing is what is not visible, what is which is nothing. That is my purpose, right? Okay. So, hence the ultimate purpose of the word, your purpose is where does it lie? Is not within the word, but in the transcendence of the world. How you're going to help the world, how you're going to become conscious, aware, enlightened of the surroundings, of the nothingness, of the soul, God, going beyond time and space, experiencing the infinity and eternity of the soul, becoming fearless, becoming truthful, spending time in the things which really matters, not these small issues, small things, spending my time unconsciously watching movies, going here, there, watching TV, watching cricket. The ultimate purpose is something else. Okay? Conscious death. Apart from dreamless sleep, which I mentioned already, there is one another involuntarily portal. It opens up briefly at the time of physical death. Even if you have missed all the other opportunities for spiritual realization during your lifetime, one last portal will open up for you immediately after the body has died. There are countless accounts by people who had a visual impression of this portal as radiant light and then returned from what is commonly known as a near death experience. There is a book around it. There was a person who um, researched, who collected the experience, near death experience of the people around the world, and all said the same thing. Maybe author will cover in this para. Many of them also spoke of a sense of blissful serenity and deep peace. In the Tibetan Book of the Dead, it is described as the luminous splendor of the colorless light of emptiness. So people have experienced that light. They have felt that it feels so blissful when they left the body to the luminous splendor of the colorless light of emptiness, which it says is your own true self. This portal opens up only very briefly, and unless you have already encountered the dimension of the unmanifested in your lifetime, you will likely miss it. Most people carry too much residual resistance, too much fear, too much attachment to sensory experience, too much identification with the manifested world. So they see the portal, turn away in fear, and then lose consciousness. Most of what happens after that is involuntary and automatic. Eventually, there will be another round of birth and death. Their presence wasn't strong enough yet for conscious immortality. So, going through this portal does not mean annihilation. As with all other portals, your radiant, true nature remains, but not the personality. In any case, whatever is real or of true value in your personality is your true nature shining through. This is never lost. Nothing that is of value is ever lost. I know. Let me explain this, but uh, okay, one sec. So going through this portal does not mean annihilation. Okay, let's read the next paragraph, then we will understand it. Approaching death and death itself, the dissolution of the physical form is always a great opportunity for spiritual realization. This opportunity is tragically missed most of the time since we live in a culture that is almost totally ignorant of death, as it is almost totally ignorant of anything that truly matters. Every portal is a portal of death, the death of the false self. When you go through it, you cease to derive your identity from your psychological mind made form. You then realize that death is an illusion, just as your identification with form was an illusion. The end of illusion, that's all that death is. It is painful only as long you are cling to illusion. So what author is trying to tell you is the conscious death. Every little experience of being conscious, opening up the portal, feeling that, feeling what? Feeling this. Uh, Feeling this. The luminous splendor of colorless light of emptiness. This is what happens when people leave the body. There are many near death experiences. But here, what we are doing, we are trying to do it while alive. So we have to die before dying, which means we have to experience that emptiness, that silence, that peace, that inner self before dying, so that we don't die, so that the word in itself, which was overpowering me, I'm not bound by it now. I'm becoming free. Every single experience, what author is saying is that every portal is a portal of death, the death of false self. Every time you experience this, even for 15 minutes, you will realize that something which was false has died. When you go through it, you cease to drive your identity from your mind-made psychological form. You then realize that that is an illusion. Doesn't matter. The end of illusion, that's all that death is. It is painful as long as you are cling to illusion. So spirituality, soul consciousness teaches us that it's okay to leave a body. Even if I leave a body, take it very lightly. It's okay. And if the people near to me have left the body, Don't make it a very big thing. It's okay. It's okay. It's all right. The soul does not feel bad when it leaves the body. There are conditions to it, but soul actually feels good when it leaves the body. It feels free. So let go of that all the illusion, right? So chapter 8, we will start tomorrow, and I request all of you to share this with everyone. We will share in the group also. Team also listen, whoever is there. Yeah, we will cover, but uh, we will post in the message in the group that this chapter is very important. The next chapter, if you want to improve your relationships, please join this uh, uh, tomorrow's session from tomorrow, even if you have not joined, because that is going to be the life changing. We will understand about what true love is, what true meaning of relationship is, and how exactly we can heal relationship, and what are the things which comes in the relationship. So you, your kids, your spouse, parents, ask everybody to join from tomorrow. This is very, 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 very important. Okay? So we will share more details in the message. You can, just forward the same message to the people in your influence whom you want them to help. You can put on status, stories, WhatsApp groups. Just do it, huh? So today's session was, uh, I would say, it was very deep, and I know I would recommend you to please read it today. Please read it. If you don't read, if don't read after the session, please do it, because ऐसे समझ नहीं आएगा. Okay? So let's discuss the questions from today. But the essence of today's session was opening up the portal of space, using it to experience the emptiness, the silence, to change the perspective about word. This is word is not just what we see, experiencing what we cannot see. That's how we will become soul conscious. Okay. So first question is, what is the inner equivalence of space? What is the inner equivalence of space? How space and silence connected to each other? Space and silence, how they are connected to each other, and how can we derive benefit by becoming aware of the empty space around us? How can we get benefited from it, and how can we become aware of the empty space around us? It's okay, whatever you feel. Hindi, English, थोड़ा सा समझ आया, ज्यादा समझ नहीं आया, it's okay. Just share. Sharing makes you more powerful. Yes, Rajiv ji. Just the answer to the first question, okay?
Author is saying that if in between every word there is a space. In between every line there is a space. Uh, whenever you are busy or doing anything, but there is a stillness. So you have to recognize that stillness and you have to pause at that time. But it means you should have to be aware about it to notice that the silence or gap or whatever it is.
Mhm.
as I understood. It seems like
No, no, very good, very good. You understood it uh, completely rightly.
because I think that everything image we create the image which goes to our brain, and that image is that the writers saying that if you want to distinguish the line, you have to understand the gaps between that, so that proper
Yes,
image will form in your brain and you can understand it properly, and it will come spontaneously when required. It is my
yes.
perception. It is my perception on the basis of
Yeah, we have
my
become so habitual to uh, make make a form about anything. That's what author is trying to say is that uh, look beyond what is visible to the eyes. And when you start seeing the things which you have not really noticed, you will, and another, portal, you will start experiencing something else. And that is truly how, we can be aware of my inner self. And this is what we have to experience. So space and silence teaches us these things. Start becoming, when you listen to a music, start observing silence more rather than music more. You will start to, see things differently. And this is what the mind needs. It needs something of different realm so that it can think in different directions. And, it has become habitual of thinking all those old patterns. This is how we will create new patterns, right? Okay. Thank you,
yeah.
Rajiv ji. Okay. Second question. Yeah, this is very important. You are here to enable the divine purpose of the universe to unfold. This is how important you are. Do you believe in this? Or it is something too heavy? Are you able to deeply feel how valuable you are? Or do you often undermine yourself? And if you think how valuable you are, so what is the purpose? I'm here to enable the divine purpose. So what is the purpose? What have we understand from today's session? Yes, who wants to share? It's okay. You can be imperfect, right? Okay, let's hear from our own good Simmer sister,
Om Shanti.
Om Shanti.
Anji. But I do believe that each one of us has a unique role and to fulfill a divine purpose. I do understand my significance also, but at times I do undermine myself. I do understand, but it's like 60-40%. And still, I know that there's a lot to do, and still, that sense of fulfillment, I feel only sometimes. I mean, there's a lot to do and a lot to go for, but that I know that I have a purpose, and yeah, I'm in the process of aligning my all my actions with it.
Okay, okay, let's hear it from Kiranji. We all undermine ourselves sometimes, right? Uh, we all undervalue ourselves. We think that what can I do? मैं क्या कर सकता हूँ? How can I change this world? Um, how can I make people aware? How can I contribute to the benefit of the world? So, yeah, but today we will remember this and we will copy paste it somewhere near to me. And please do it. Write it somewhere physically or on laptop, make a code, something, send this photo to uh, the admin. We will share in the group. So this is your homework, all of yours homework. I have seen everyone's name. I want your photos by evening around this. That I'm here to enable the divine purpose of the universe, and that is how important I am. Okay? Promise? Can I get a thumbs up? Can I get a yes? Yes, Kiranji, please speak. Okay. I think she's gone somewhere. I can't see you. Please. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Please unmute. Are you able to unmute? Yeah.
Om Shanti, brother.
Om Shanti. Ji.
When I don't know about Shiv Baba and all of these brahmakumaris, so I was like a wanderer. I don't know about anything. What is the purpose of my life? We just doing anything same like everything happening automatically. But when I understand about all these thing about the supreme soul and I as a divine soul, so I understand about what is the purpose of my life. Like the supreme soul choose us for a divine purpose to change this world into a divine world. So this is the purpose of my life. What is the importance of my life? So I understand this very well.
Very good. So good to know. Yes. Uh, there is a purpose, and what we are understanding is my purpose is to make myself conscious, remove all the negativity from me, and then people around me. Right? Great. Thank you so much for such a wonderful answer. So, last question. At the end of the chapter 7, the author has described every portal as a portal of the death of the false self and has referred to death as the end of illusion. What do you understand by terms portal and death? What do you understand by it? Yes, good sister.
Yes. So in this book, portals refers to the moments when we realize when a false sense of self dissolves and when we it leads to deeper understanding of our true nature. And death refers to the end of identification with that false and illusionary aspect of ourself and our identification with that image. So these portals, they offer opportunities for that awakening and liberation from constraints of mind.
Yes, so true. Every portal is a portal of death, the death of the false self. So again, this simple line can change many things. So you can just put it somewhere so that you can read it every time, that every time I'm being in the present, every time I'm experiencing silence, space, it is killing my false self. I'm getting liberated from it. I'm healing, I'm cleaning. So very important. Yes. Anyone else wants to add something to these questions or wants to share anything about today's session? Okay. So we will meet tomorrow and we will read the next chapter. Very important chapter, very enlightening and life-changing chapter. So be there, bring more people and share it with everyone today so that we all can understand the true meaning of relationships. Okay? So don't leave anywhere. We will listen to this wonderful song, then we'll go. Om Shanti.
ढूंढे हर एक सांस में डुबकियों के बाद में हर भंवर के पास किनारे बह रहे जो साथ में जो हमारे खास थे कर गए अपनी बात किनारे गरमा जी सारे साथ में गैर हो भी जाए तो खुद ही तो पतवार बन पार होंगे हम जो छोटी सी हर एक नहर सागर बन भी जाए कोई तिनका लेके हाथ में ढूंढ लेंगे हम किनारे 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 खुद ही तो है हम किनारे